We're back! I swear to God, this is my last TBR in a while. I swear. Okay, hi! I'm Cherry and you've stumbled upon my channel, and today I'm going to be talking about my Wonderland-A-THON TBR. Like I said, this will be my last TBR in a while. I definitely need to try something new. It's just that shit happens a lot in real life and I always need to readjust my booktube content calendar. But yeah, some different stuff will be coming soon, so please do anticipate that. Anyway, let's talk about the readathon. Wonderland-A-THON is a month-long Alice in Wonderland inspired readathon held during the whole month of February. It's hosted by Aaron over at Booksnake Aaron and Erica over at All About Erica. I'll be linking the host channels and Instagram pages in the description box down below, as well as the base for Wonderland-A-THON. Let's get on to the books. I have 10 books. I already doubled up and tripled up for the prompts, but I just know I won't be getting to all of them because I know myself. I'm a very slow reader and I get distracted very easily. But I am way too fucking ambitious, and yeah, let's just fucking go. I'll be going in order of the chaptered prompts and then I'll be going in order of the companion prompts. Okay, the first book is the second book in the Alice in Wonderland series. I'll also be reading the first book, which I'll be talking about later, but for this one, I'll be reading Through the Looking Glass by Lewis Carroll. I bought this special edition book just for this readathon. This one fulfills 3 prompts. The chapter 1 prompt, which is Looking Glass House, read a book that features a cat in the story. I saw comments saying that it does feature a cat, apparently. And chapter 5, Wool and Water, which is to read a weird book, and this is undeniably pretty weird. And the very obvious companion prompt, which is Alice, which is to simply read Through the Looking Glass. The second book on this list is Girls of Storm and Shadow by Natasha Nyan. This book fulfills the chapter 2 prompt, which is The Garden of Live Flowers, to read a colorful book. Although I'm not really sure about the cover, but I can definitely say that this is a very colorful story filled with culture and diversity. Girls of Storm and Shadow is actually the second book in the Girls of Paper and Fire trilogy. I don't want to spoil anything, so I'll be talking about the first book instead. In Girls of Paper and Fire, every year, 8 girls are chosen to become the king's concubines. It's the highest honor they could ever hope for. But during one year, Lay is chosen as the 9th girl. At the palace, she goes under training and even falls in love with a fellow concubine. I absolutely adored the first book. I buddy read it with my best friend, and I'll also be buddy reading Girls of Storm and Shadow with her. The whole setup is very oppressive, so trigger warnings for sexual assault. For the third book, it's going to be Alice by Christina Henry. It fulfills the prompts chapter 3, Looking Glass Insect, to read a book. I've been trying to get off my TBR for a while, and the companion prompt, Tweedledee and Tweedledum, which is to read a duology. Alice has been on my to-reread list for a really long time because I wanted to dive into the story again before I pick up Red Queen, which is the second book in the Chronicles of Alice duology. Basically, Alice is a horror retelling of the Alice in Wonderland story we all know and love. It starts with Alice in a mental asylum, but she doesn't recall why she was imprisoned there in the first place. When a fire suddenly breaks out, it gives Alice the chance to escape and finally uncover what happened to her all those years ago. But during her escape, something else, something dark and powerful, manages to escape with her. I read this, I think, around 2018, and I really loved it, and I want to see if I'll feel the same way during the second time. I mean, what better time to read this retelling than Wonderland-A-THON though, right? Then for chapter 4, which is Tweedledee and Tweedledum, it's a book featuring a mental disability, and chapter 11, Waking, a book I will fly through, and the companion prompt Humpty Dumpty, which features a broken character. I have Letting Anna Go by Anonymous. I swear, that's the author, Anonymous. We follow a girl who has the perfect life but thinks she could never be good enough. Like, she could never live up to people's expectations of her, but there was one thing she could control in her life, and that is what she ate and how much she ate. The less she ate, the more powerful she feels. This book is written in a diary format where the girl chronicles her experiences with eating disorders and addiction. Honestly, the plot in itself is something I personally and a lot of anorexics could definitely relate to. It's a very dangerous game and it's usually the beginning of a lifetime of disordered eating. By the way, I'm not sure if Anonymous ever revealed who they are. I vaguely remember they did, but I can't find like the author on Goodreads. But they've written multiple harrowing books that deal with very triggering topics. Personally, I have no triggers and I love reading books about eating disorders, so I'm actually excited to get to this. For the prompts, Chapter 6, Humpty Dumpty, read a horror book, and the companion prompt, Red Queen, read a brutal or bloody book, I've chosen Tender is the Flesh by Agustina Bazderica. This also fulfills the Chapter 10 Shaking prompt, which is to randomly generate a book. You can do it in any way, like random number generator, or like have friends choose for you. I asked my friends to choose between 3 horror books, and this one won unanimously. So, yes, I'm going to be reading this. Basically, in this book, there's some sort of infectious virus that made all animal meat poisonous to humans. So the government started a transition that makes eating human meat legal now. Because obviously that is the only solution when we can't eat beef and pork, right? Eat fellow humans. Make cannibalism legal. Honestly, that's all I needed to know about this book because Jordan from Jordan Reads talks really highly of this book. So much. It does sound thought-provoking though, if not completely disgusting, but as someone with no triggers, I am especially excited to read this. For Chapter 8 prompt, it's My Own Invention, a book that features magic or science. This book features both. And the companion prompt, The Flowers, which is a book about the environment. I have chosen to continue Seasons of the Storm by El Cosimano. The quickest summary for this one would be to say that this is a book about the seasons. Spring, summer, autumn, and winter. They have to kill each other every transition period, but then spring and winter fall in love. I honestly did not expect this book to have some sci-fi elements to it because I do not read sci-fi, like, at all, but it does and I'm going to live with it. This is one of the 7 books I started last year and I am determined to finish it. I am determined to finish it at the beginning of this year. It's time. This is also the only book I can think of for the environment prompt, so I'm going to be reading this for the readathon. For the Chapter 9 prompt, Queen Alice, read a 5-star prediction, and the companion prompt, The Lion, which is to read a thick book. I've chosen The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. Everyone in the book community probably knows about this already, so I'm gonna keep it brief. In 1700s France, a young woman named Addie LaRue makes a desperate deal with the devil to live forever. But in exchange, she is cursed to be forgotten the moment people look away. Then, nearly 300 years later, she meets a man that remembers her name. This is probably the first B. Schwab book that actually captured my interest. I've heard about like her other books, but this is the only one I was drawn to read. This was one of my most anticipated books of last year, and I finally have a copy. So I'm going to be getting to this, hopefully, this one for readathon. I've seen the entirety of the book community rave about it, so I just hope it lives up to the hype. For Chapter 12, Witch Dreamed It, and the companion prompt, Red King, read a book with illustrations and that. I have Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, aka the first book. Why does it keep reflecting? This is a beautiful pink color, but the lighting the lighting won't allow you to see it. It's gorgeous. This copy is so nice. My sibling keeps saying it's too modern, but I actually like the way it looks. But the lighting, oh, there you go. The lighting does not do it justice. You see that? It's such a pretty pink color. Anyway, I'll be honest. I absolutely love Alice retellings, but have never read the original story. I know, blasphemous. I know. I thought now is the perfect time to finally do that. For a quick refresher, we follow Alice as she tumbles down the rabbit hole and in the very absurd world of Wonderland. Super excited to finally get to this. Actually, this book also works for a 5-star prediction as well as the weird book Prom. And I'm really excited to get to this. I will get to this. It's the Wonderland-A-THON, of course I'm gonna get to this. The second to the last book on this list fulfills 3 companion prompts. White Queen, a book completely opposite of the one I read prior. The Unicorn, a shiny book. And Dina, a book set in the real world. And that book I have chosen for this is Shine by Queen Jessica Jung. As a decade-long K-pop stan, of course, I would find a way to read this book. If you didn't know, Jessica is a former member of one of the top second-generation girl groups, SNSD, or otherwise known globally as Girls' Generation. I would be surprised if she didn't milk the success of this book and make Shine into a series or something. Anyway, in this book we follow Rachel Kim, a 17-year-old Korean-American trainee in DB Entertainment, one of Seoul's largest K-pop labels. Trainee life is very strict. Practice 24/7, be perfect, don't date. Sounds simple enough, but she starts to have feelings for DB Entertainment's golden boy, Jason Lee. I know Jessica probably took some free experiences to write this book, and I really want to see what she has to say about life as an idol. So, really excited to get to this as well. Good God, finally we are down to our last book. The Sea of Monsters by Rick Riordan fulfills 2 companion prompts, and that is Heya and Hara. Read a book featuring friendship, and The Animals, read a book with a diverse cast of characters. I just finished rereading The Lightning Thief last January, and I'm so excited to finally move on to the rest of the PJO series. In the first book, Percy retrieved Zeus's lightning bolt, and in this one, he's on a mission to retrieve the Golden Fleece. With a whole camp of demigods, this book for sure has a diverse cast of characters and features newfound friendships in each saga. Okay, that is the 10 books I hope to read this February for the Wonderland-A-THON. Honestly, I don't expect to get to all of them, but I will definitely try. Again, links to the Wonderland-A-THON Instagram is in the description down below, as well as the host's own accounts. Again, this is probably my last TBR for a while. Please do anticipate my upcoming videos. I'll be uploading something new for the next few months. Yeah, anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in my next one. Goodbye!